Great.
Hello and welcome to the Empowered Woman channel. This is your host, Pastor Dapoli Pede, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to another session today. With me today, I have Pastor Jackie Omotosho. Her full name is Jacqueline Omotosho, but she's known to all as Jackie Omotosho. She is one of the founding pastors of Jesus City Church in Durham, North Carolina. She and her husband founded the church. Pastor Jackie is a woman of many parts. She has a very gentle spirit, but she also has a very strong spirit. She knows who she is in Christ. She is absolutely an empowered woman, which is why I'm delighted and I'm honored to have her on today's Empowered Woman session. She is the author of The Practice and Influence of Elegance Inside Out, and the book or the books come in 2 volumes, volumes 1 and 2. You can actually find the book on Amazon. And I can just show you what it looks like. The Practice and Influence of Elegance Inside Out. This is the volume 2. The volume 1 is also available. Both of them are available on Amazon. So if you want to, you can pick up a copy on Elegance. Pastor Jackie is very passionate about women grooming themselves, grooming their image to fulfill divine destiny. On this channel, we'll talk a lot about the woman being empowered by the Spirit of God. But we also talk about the woman having a destiny that is separate from anyone else's. And so Pastor Jackie is a woman who's in her books shared the concept of elegance. She's also shared the wisdom of elegance in her volume 2. And her goal really is to help us as empowered women to groom our images to fulfill divine destiny. So Pastor Jackie, I want to say welcome. Thank you for agreeing to join me. And thank you for bringing your elegance to today's session. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Pastor Dapo. It's a pleasure to be with you. Delighted to see you doing what God will have you do to empower women. And it's an honor to serve in your program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's talk about elegance for a little bit. We're going to talk about elegance. I've known you for many years now, and you have not stopped being the elegant woman that I've known you to be. And the passion for elegance sent you to modeling school to learn some more about what elegance is all about. Now, talk to us as an empowered woman. How does elegance play into us fulfilling our destinies? Because a lot of us think that, oh, it's okay, you know, we just go around in your jammies. But you said something in the book. You said the goal is to improve our influence on people, the people around us. So how does elegance play into us being empowered women and living as empowered women? Over to you, Pastor Jackie.
Oh, thank you so much for letting us do something on elegance. Most people think they know what elegance is. Some people think it's about being glamorous. Some people think it's, just being beautiful. But elegance is about being polished to serve others. It's when a woman or a person realizes that I cannot put myself ahead of people. I cannot be self-centered. I cannot be thinking that people should just accept me the way I am. That's how God knows me and He loves me that way. But a woman who wants to serve others, the Bible tells us to honor others above ourselves. So before you can do that, you need to learn your presentation. And elegance is about presenting yourself to people, to be able to serve them, to influence them, to be able to be approached, to serve in the society. So an elegance is about being polished. It teaches you everything that helps you to be the person that anyone will want to have. Just like a clay pot. When you polish a clay pot and put it in the right place, it will attract people. But this attraction is not for you. It's for God to use you to help others. So we want to be taught to be elegant. Elegant is not about the glamour. It makes you go to the boardroom for meetings. It's about carrying yourself with in a manner that reaches people. You carry yourself, your thought, to present yourself in your speech, in your dressing, your posture, in your pose, your carriage, and your gestures, everything is a total package. So these days, modern people, I hear people say, "Oh, just accept me the way I am," and people that love you may never tell you that one is not cutting it. But those who you want to reach them by presenting yourself elegantly.
Thank you, Pastor. So what I'm hearing is that as an empowered woman, it is not just enough to say, I'm empowered, I can do all things. It's not about being abrasive. It's about the way we present ourselves and the way we carry ourselves. That's what's going to open doors for us. Now, I do know that you're about to start a finishing school. And for those who are listening, if you would like to reach Pastor Jackie, please email her at pastorjackie@gmail.com. Pastor Jackie is one word. Email her. She offers classes on elegance. She attends seminars. She'll be happy to come to your church. But let's go back to the way we carry ourselves. Now,
yes,
in our culture, the American culture, the culture of women, let's say it that way. As women, we tend to say, it does not matter. I'm empowered. But what you're saying to us is that our presentation matters. Our presentation could make or mar what we're trying to do. Please tell me more about that.
Yes, of course. Our presentation matters. It does make or mark what we want to do. People that are used to you, of course, if you have one has mannerisms that are not polished or are not presentable, they may not tell you. People may have a body odor and people around them may not be able to tell them. And this elegance, it's what is on your inside that comes out, that is polished, that is beautiful. Beauty is orderly. Presentation includes presenting things in a beautiful way that has order to it.
Okay.
And so when you want to present to people and get their attention, it's just like advertising. You will learn to be the person that is polished, sit properly, stand properly, talk in a good manner, properly, dress properly, and people will have choices. And most people are influenced by what they were brought up with. The arts we learned in school didn't teach us about what the colors are going to do to us. The arts we learned in school just taught us how to mix colors, paint, present art. Yes. But colors influence you. If you're learning to be elegant, you learn to present in non-distracting colors in a way that you can communicate and make people or explain or do whatever you want to teach them. I know someone, when we did some meeting on dining etiquette, we did a meeting on dining etiquette. This person thought we were going overboard, and in a couple of weeks, she found herself in Buckingham Palace. Of course, she was sweating. You could see because she's sweating, she's uncomfortable, she didn't know what she was supposed to be doing. And so imagine someone in a business meeting with people that don't know them well, going to sell an amazing concept. They have a great idea. They get there and they don't know the culture of the people they're going to meet. They go there and carry on and comes across rude. They'll probably lose the contract. I know women who were expecting themselves to get married to someone that loved them, but because of how they were presenting, the connection wasn't going to happen until they changed their approach And the modern empowered, some of the women who have great jobs now, who are doing well, tend to think that people must accept them the way they are. They will lose out. It reminds me of the story of the emperor that walked around naked. He thought he was well dressed, but he wasn't. And people looked at him and wondered, why is the emperor walking around without clothes? Well, the emperor is walking around without clothes because they told him that was the best suit. And he was naked. So that's one of the things that happen to people when we go out there and we're not well articulate and we're not standing well, and we just carry on expecting that people will be at our beck and call because we have a gift, we have something that they need. There are a lot of people with the same choices. People have choices. So the best choice is to be better, that there is nothing hindering one to get on it.
Thank you, Pastor Jackie. So I'm thinking of what you had in your book about grooming your image to fulfill your divine destiny. So we're talking to you as an empowered woman. The Spirit of God has empowered you. And it reminds me of the story of Esther. She was going to go meet the king, but she groomed herself. She prepared herself. She didn't go overboard with her preparation in terms of makeup and all that. She kept it simple. Simplicity and elegance. How can we marry those as empowered women? Because what I'm thinking is, yes, we're empowered. The Spirit of God is on the inside of us. We are called to be a blessing to the world. We are the architects of society, as it were, because we're mothers. We lead people. So I'm wondering, how does elegance work with simplicity? How do we, as empowered women, how do we strike the balance between simplicity and elegance? At the beginning, you had said something. You said it's not about the glamour. In other words, you don't have to be glamorous to be elegant. So again, back to my question, how do we combine, or how do we marry simplicity with elegance?
Great. Elegance, it's about being polished, and it does not include seduction. Glamour includes seduction. Elegance is not seductive. Elegance is fitting for a queen. Elegance is can be found in the boardroom. The keynote of elegance is simplicity. Simplicity is the keynote of elegance. That is by Coco Chanel. That's the lady I studied a lot, because she changed her time. She changed the fashion. She cut off the trimming and the big clothes into simple gowns and things like that. And she made it simple. When we're very busy, because of the way the eye views things or reads images, then we become busy. There's a topic I had in my book called, the masquerade. That's not what we want to be. You don't know a masquerade. It's busy, it's attractive, and got lots of patterns and colors all over. But you can't really focus on the person. The person who has something important to say makes themselves as simple. That's elegance. It could be one solid color, not too many things going on. So it's glamour, it has seduction, it has elegance. Does not include that. It does not include seduction, it does not include being busy. And a woman that is empowered, who wants to go to any level or to meet any group of people, or to talk to any kind of people, must be able to present themselves in a way that they can focus on them. They have to learn their color, their body colors, what suits them best. They have to learn how to sit well, carry themselves. And you don't have to go to all that length to look great. I mean, you don't even have to spend a ton of money to be elegant. You just have to know the posture, to talk, carry yourself, learn about your wardrobe, and etiquette, dining etiquette, social etiquette, so many things that we're losing now in our time. So it is simple. Simple as a solid color.
It is simple. And honestly, for me, simplicity is key, because as children of God, as women of God, as women who are empowered by the Spirit of God, the simplicity that the Spirit of God brings to us cannot be overemphasized. So for me, coming from a culture where there's a lot of emphasis on clothing, I want to outshine the next person. I want to be the highlight of the party with what I'm wearing. When I came to know the Lord, I dropped a lot of those things, because that is not where the empowerment comes from. The empowerment does not come from what we wear, right? Is what you're saying. It comes from the way we present ourselves. And when we carry the Spirit of God, we must present ourselves as ambassadors of Christ. Now, let's talk about colors. Let's talk about colors, because a lot of the things you talk about when it comes to elegance, relates to colors. How do we as empowered women, because keep in mind, as empowered women, we are meant to be a blessing to the people around us. We're influencers. Empowered women are influencers. We're meant to influence people. That's how we were made. That's how we were wired. We give birth to children. We raise them. That's some form of influence. As wives, we help our husbands. We influence them to do the right things. As sisters, we're blessing at, all over the place. This is how we're wired, right? But how do those help us to be where we need to be?
Great. I love talking about colors. In college, color is a whole semester of study.
Oh, wow.
It's a psychology. So colors do influence people. It affects people's brains, how your chemicals respond. So you have warm colors, they warm people up, cool colors keep things cool, and so colors, you study that in college. The first thing that the eye sees is the color. The next thing it sees is a pattern, and before it sees the person. So people are heard or known by what they wear or who they are. Your presentation is your gift to others. That is what my mother talked about. I think I read that on the 10th of January, which was on one of my birthdays in 2015, I believe. And I read it and it resonated with me. Your presentation is your gift to others. And so when you know your personal colors that don't make you too loud, that is not busy and confusing, that you can present yourself to others. You are a walking speech, or a walking whoever you are, your empowerment, what you want to give people, what you're bringing to the table is seen in your appearance. So the appearance, to make it solid, that's why, in the royal families, they learn all this. They present themselves in the simplest solid colors because you want to connect to more people. And some people may say, oh, you're trying to be Western. No, it's just what colors do to your brain. So some colors are very serious, like what we're wearing. It's a very serious color. And so it helps you to communicate when you're being very serious. When people are going for interviews, it's better to wear blue. It's cooler, and it's most universal color in the world. It's easier to accept. So all this psychology affects people. So an empowered woman will learn how to be warm at home, what to wear when they're going out, how to present themselves, and the house, etc. So, of course, that's a college level color. So you learn your color scheme, and so you know that colors are complementary. We have complementary colors, triadic colors. We have colors that are analogous. They stay side by side, and you can't go too far. They are like 3 in together, etc. So those affect you. There's no way you can just go into colors that are not complementary and not give people a headache. People go out, they don't know why they are comfortable when colors are clashing. And these things affect us. And it can give you a happy mood, when you're in a good color. So those are what Elegance teach you, how to use your colors right for yourself to be able to bring your message or what you have for others and make the world a better place.
Make the world a better place. So, Pastor Jackie, as an empowered woman, I should not be careless in my presentation of myself.
Yes.
Because then my message to the world is likely to be lost because of the way I'm presenting myself.
Yes.
Right? The colors I wear speak volumes about me as an empowered woman. And if I'm going to be the influential person to influence my children, influence my home, influence my marriage, influence the people that God has brought into my life, then I have to be careful how I present myself. I don't know who's listening, but I want to encourage you that as an empowered woman, you need to present yourself in a simple but in an elegant manner so that the people you are trying to reach, you can reach them effectively. Pastor Jackie, thank you. Now, I'm going to ask you one last question before I let you go. How can we, as empowered women, because when you think of creation, when you start from the beginning, when God made the woman, she was the crowning effort of his work. And then she was called to bless somebody, to bless Adam, okay? When you look at the beginning, she had a purpose, okay? And our purpose is our divine destiny. And every one of us should fulfill divine destiny. But in order to fulfill divine destiny, I hear you saying to me and to all those empowered women out there that we need to groom ourselves. We need to groom our image to fulfill destiny effectively. Can you share with us 1, 2, 3 tips on how we can groom our image? You've talked about posture, you've talked about courage, you've talked about colors. What more can you say to us to help that young upcoming woman who's about to step into her destiny, who's about to begin walking in their God-given empowerment? What are some tips you would like to share with us?
Wow, great. Thank you so much for this opportunity again. I just love talking about elegance. I want to start by saying that, we mentioned about Queen. Okay, let's say about Queen Esther. Queen Esther did not assume that she knew what to do. She had a wardrobe person who she was humble enough to take his counsel. When she was going to present herself to the king, she took his counsel. They told every woman, choose whatever you like. Mm-hmm. She was wise enough to go to her tutor and say, tell me, what should I wear? And he led her to choose simple outfits to go to the king. She wore the appropriate dress fitting to go to the king there. So we want to learn to be appropriate. You have I've been at a wedding and everybody's gaily dressed in formal clothes, and they were playing a game that you should have worn jeans to attend. Running around, cheers, playing a game, and people are exposing themselves. Elegant women should be able to lean forward. You don't show your breast. You should be able to raise your hands. You're not showing off places that we should be covering, because the scriptures in Ezekiel 14, God likes to cover us. When he saw that we're formed, he covered us. He doesn't want us exposing private parts that are meant for the bedroom, etc. So when we sit down, the clothes always ride up. Tips. So you have to make sure, if you know you want your dress to stop by your knees, it has to have enough folds to lap around it. It's going to have to be an A-line. If it's short and tight, when you sit down, it's going to take your body form, it's going to ride up, you're going to be going into exposing yourself. Elegance, you can't include seduction and things that are unusual, inappropriate in the package. To be elegant is a complete package. Your inside to your outside, it's going to be total. You're going to present yourself, you sit down, there's nothing you're exposing. And you know, it's so important in our time that we know not to take things for granted. When you have a gift, most people that are highly talented can be very careless, but you want to prepare. So it's not, you know, it's simple, but you prepare to learn to be simple. In your art school, your first drawings are your most complex ones. So you learn to simplify it, you study and take away stuff until, you know, until you and God can be in a place where he can say, okay, go in this way. And you know that this is not my favorite dress, Lord, that because you want it, I will do it. So an empowered woman will prepare. So to be elegant, it will always help. It helps. I know people that lost jobs because they got there, they were not properly, they didn't carry themselves well, they didn't speak well, they just thought, oh, you know, and they lost it. You know, in elegance, you learn how to greet people. And, you know, different cultures have different ways of greeting. And so you go for a meeting. I hear that when you go to a meeting in China, if they want to test you, they serve scorpion. And if you couldn't eat it, then you know that they won't include you in the inner circle.
Oh, wow.
And different cultures have all these norms that you don't really know, written and unwritten codes. And so an elegant person, because it's about your social skills, about presenting yourself, about communicating, influencing others, giving instructions easily, you will prepare yourself, your presentation and all that it takes. And I like to teach people about taking picture poses, you know, because of the internet and the visual world we have now. Everybody likes taking pictures. Now, there's an elegant pose that I'm going to demonstrate sitting down, okay? This pose, because ladies and most people like to do this when they take picture. Now, an elegant person's hand has to be under their breasts. You have to learn to smile with your eyes.
Okay.
When you smile with your eyes, your ears move, your eyes widen. When your eyes widen, you're excited, so that's why you're warmer. When you put a little blush, it creates a warm look. It makes you warmer and more approachable. You can't just go, you know, and think you want to reach people, etc., and just sit anyhow because one is a leader and everybody must listen. Well, your inner circle can take it, but when you're going further away and influence is supposed to go globally, it's going to cut across, then we have to present ourselves in a way that anyone can accept as conventional, etc. So this is the pose. This is a hostile pose. A woman whose hand is on her waist is being hostile and rude. It's being bossy. It's a bossy pose. So the pose that is appropriate is up here.
Wow.
It is smile. So there are lots of things to learn.
There's so much to learn, Pastor Jackie. And this is why I'm going to encourage you, listeners and viewers, to contact Pastor Jackie at gmail.com. She's available to offer classes. Pastor Jackie, thank you. I'm going to tell you what I am taking away from here. I am very humbled, to say the least. When it comes to sitting down, I need to learn how to sit. Because I was typing as you were talking. Your presentation is a gift to others. So I'm not just presenting to myself, but I'm giving the people I'm presenting to a gift of myself. And that is why it is important for me to prepare myself to be elegant.
Yes.
This is why I must not assume that I know what to do. I have to be like Esther, seek counsel.
Yes.
And then learn to be appropriate. I've learned a lot from you today. And I just hope my listeners and viewers have learned something. As empowered women, we cannot just walk roughshod over people. We cannot say that because we're empowered and we're in leadership that we can just do whatever we want. We have to prepare ourselves to be elegant. Even in our presentation, we have to be elegant. We need to learn to groom our images so that we can fulfill divine destiny. Talking about divine destiny, God has called each and every one of us women into different things. We're empowered to do different things. But for us to have that global effect, from what Pastor Jackie has shared with us today, we have to present ourselves in an elegant manner so that we are more acceptable whenever we go out to people. Again, Pastor Jackie, I want to thank you for your time today. I want to thank you for honoring this invitation and talking to us empowered women about being elegant. A lot of us make assumptions. We think it's just wear something, yeah, you know, yeah. Or for those who don't just wear something, we want to be glamorous without keeping it simple. Now today we've talked about simplicity and elegance. Elegance does not come with seduction. We have to cover ourselves. And the Spirit of God on the inside of us, who is empowering us, is also teaching us that we have to be simple, but at the same time, be elegant. So again, thank you, Pastor Jackie. It's been a pleasure having you. And I look forward to having you again.
Thank you so much for having me. There's so much to talk about, but I'm glad we kept it simple. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Pastor Dapo. I pray that a lot of women will be blessed. I know it works. I've seen people's destiny change. You know, as soon as they learn to do this, things become easier. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Jackie.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies out there.
To my listeners, thank you. Please contact Pastor Jackie, and she's looking forward to hearing from you.